Hi, it's another great day in Oregon Pipe Cactus National Forest of southern Arizona. I'm at Twin Peaks Campground. Here's the group camping area. All right, today's June 3rd. Look at the sun going down. We're gonna head up here to the Desert View Trail. 1.5 mile loop. They say you got the greatest sunsets of the whole valley and Bajadas. We're going to see lots of cool plants and shrubs. Here's our Oregon Pipe Cactus right here. Look at that guy. Wow. Beautiful. Here's our Palo Verde and creosote bush. All sorts of goodies. Here's a, this is an ironwood. How about that? And we're going to head up here by our saguaros. And we're going to enjoy the sunset. So as we walk up the trail, I'll kind of point out some plants and interesting facts and stuff like that. Here's our creosote bush, Lariatrida dentata. She's always got little seeds there coming in. There's our Ocotillo, Fukiaria splendens. Here's a little baby saguaro coming in. This guy here's an Ambrosia deltoides. He's a, let's see here, he's like a triangle leafed Ambrosia. He's all dried up, he's really hard to tell. But here's our Desert View Trail. Welcome to Sonoran Desert. This is a very leisurely walk up the hill. Here's a really cool saguaro cactus. He lives only in the Sonoran Desert. He's a keystone plant, and a lot of other plants rely on him for survival, especially the birds that make nests in him. He's a Carnegie gigantea. Gigante because he's so huge. And Carnegie because he's named after Andrew Carnegie, who established a little botanical institute down in Tucson in 1903. Here's a skeleton of our saguaro here. Look at that. These are our ribs. See the ribs? Almost like a wood. Hey, here we have a point of interest. Flexible bushes. Oh, this guy here is called a limber bush. Atropha cuneata. Look at that guy. He's all over the place up here, but he doesn't have any leaves or flowers on him today. So in Spanish, this little limber bush, he's called a sangre de drago, which means blood of the dragon, because of red dye found in the sap. And the Native Americans, they made baskets out of these limber bushes. And they did that when they couldn't get fibers from the other plants. All right? Hey, so our limber bush here. To show you how limber he is, see? Look at that. I could just bend him like all the way around. Look at that. He doesn't break. So you take this guy, you cut him up, and you kind of bend him in any like shape you want. See that? I almost bend him a full U-turn. Look at that. That is so weird. Oh, look at this little guy. Oh, he's a little fishhook. Here we have another fishhook. Look at that. So he's a mammillaria, but he's got little fishhook spines there. See how they bend in there like little fishhooks? He's really cool. This is about as tall as he gets, about, I don't know, 6 or 8 inches.
Tarantula wasp running around on the ground.
Ah.
There's the tarantula nest over there.
We have a tarantula wasp. There he is. Look at this guy. Little tarantula wasp right in there. See him? He's looking for a tarantula. He's going to sting the tarantula and paralyze it and lay an egg in the tarantula. And then the egg hatches and eats the tarantula from the inside out. This guy here is a jumping cholla. He's a guy you walk up close to him and his segments jump off at you. He's got a little nest on there. It's probably from a cactus wren. Hey, we have another point of interest. What's this guy? He says he is the monument's namesake, Oregon Pipe Cactus, Stenoserius thurberi. Wow, he's a little desert dweller out here. Those Native Americans Used to harvest the fruit off this guy. When ripe, it was eaten raw, made into syrup, jams, and even a mild wine. See that right there? That little spiny fruit. He's gonna turn all ripe later on. You can pluck them off and eat it. Just make sure you get all the spines off it. Look at that. He's really, really tall. He's the namesake, our organ pipe, because he looks like the organ pipes from like a church organ. Some people call him a stovepipe because he looks like pipes from a stove. How about that? Oh, it's a fallen organ. That's right. Look at that. Let's check out his skeleton. This guy's absolutely huge. Look at that. Holy smokes. He's got these ribs that come straight up. Sounds a little hollow. These are all just ribs that come straight up here, straight up, straight up. Wow. Hey, we got a tarantula living right inside here. See that tarantula nest or web? So we got to find our tarantula wasp and get them in there. Hey, another point of interest. Let's see. Desert, but not deserted. Here's a little pack rat right there. Some people call him like a little wood rat or pack rat. And he lives all the time right at the base of these plants, whether it's a creosote or an ironwood or palo verde. Provides them lots of comfort, protection, keeps them cool with the shade in the hot summers. Here's another one of our southwestern feral cacti. See how big and bulbous he is? Feral cactus Emorii. Look at that, he's got these long spines here. They come out, they kind of hook downwards just a little bit. The lateral spines that wrap around, keep them all safe and shaded, cool, right next to our creosote. Larian tridentata, a bunch of ambrosias here. We're gonna have to trail a little farther, see who we get. Hey, another bush of concern, our entertainment up here. He is not good eating. Mexican jumping bean, Sebastiania velocularis. He's got a white sap used by the Native Americans, put on the end of their arrows to stun the fish like little poison. It's called a yerba de flecha, meaning herb of the arrow. If you take a nap under this tree, it says it's gonna make you go blind. You find them all out in the arroyo washes on the way to Victoria Mine. Mexican jumping bean. That's what we got here. Very cool. Hey, I got something really cool here. This guy is a jumping cholla. Cylindropuntia fulgida, or fulgida, either way is fine. So he's a jumping cholla. But this guy, we call him a jumping teddy bear cholla. Cylindropuntia visualovii. Look at that. So he kind of looks the same, but he's got a big meteor brown, just fibrous trunk. Comes up here to all his segments and all these beautiful teddy bear silvery needles and spines coming out of him. Look at that. So he's so cute. You want to give him a big hug. Look at that. But he drops all these guys to the ground. And like here, he's picked up by a kit fox or mouse or I don't know, some other little rabbit or animal, or your shoes, and he carries them around. And here's his spine right here. So he's kind of hollow with a bunch of holes in it. This guy here, right? So jumping teddy bear cactus right here. And over here, it's just our jumping cholla. So they look a lot alike here and here, but they're also a lot different. But they're both from the genus Cylindropuntia. Hey, this is a prickly pear cactus, Opuntia engelmanii, or an Engelmann's prickly pear. See that? He lives out here. He kind of looks like a Opuntia phaeacantha, but he's got really white thorns instead of brown thorns on him. This guy, he's a little darker though up here. Anyway, this is what we find up here. These are Engelmann's prickly pear. That's called a nopalus. And you could take that pad off and the needles, and then fry them up and eat them. Wow. All right, so another marker here. It says tea time. White Ratany, Cremeria grayi. Look at that. So there's another Cremeria we have up here. You make a little pleasant tasting tea out of this guy. He said it'd be good for the blood and for your kidneys. Okay, and he's kind of messed in there with some other plants, so I'll see what I get here. See little flowers right there? That's our Cremeria grayi flowers right there. Okay, he's really sticky, but he's not as tangly mess as our other Cremerias we have around up here. He's growing higher, like a little shrub. You find these Cremeria like all over the place. Here we have another one over here. So he grows up a little taller, a little lighter color. Not as dark green as our Cremeria erecta, but you get the same little flowers right there. See that little right there? Anyway, make a tea out of him, and he kind of helps you with your little blood pressure in your kidneys. That's pretty cool. Sun's going down behind our ocotillos. Look at that, beautiful. And we got another marker. What's our marker say? It says the living fence, ocotillo. And some people say ocotillo. Fukiaria splendens. Wow, and a lot of the natives, they would cut this down. See how spiny it is? Thorny. They cut these down and line them up like a fence, and it keeps all the critters out. Because nobody wants to go through a big thorny fence. And then sometimes you cut them out and you plant them, they start to regrow on their own. So they call it a living fence. That's pretty cool. It's got no leaves on them today, but he has chlorophyll in the stems, and the chlorophyll does all the photosynthesis for this guy. So he doesn't waste his time having leaves. Take a lot of energy to use, and he's got flower buds way up here that already flowered, now they're going to seed. And that's our ocotillo. I like that plant. Ocotillo's really, really cool. You find them all over Anza Borrego and lots of cool places. Wow. Great little plant to have up here in our Oregon Pipe Cactus National Forest. See? Ocotillos, ocotillos, ocotillos. Got some more here, down here, right, all over the place. More creosotes. Here's another teddy bear cholla. Slidopuntia bigelovii, creosote, little ambrosia furweed or ragweeds, little staghorn here, and little flowers and fruits, right there, really cute. Anyway, wow. This tall cylindrical guy, he's an Echinocereus nicolii. Look at that, he kind of looks like a Echinocereus engelmannii. Now he's a Nichols hedgehog cactus, and he looks like his cousin, the strawberry hedgehog cactus, which is the engelmannii. This guy's got a lot lighter, whiter colored spines. They get older, they flatten out, and they start to lean downward. See that? Wow. These little Echinocereus hedgehog. There's like hundreds of these plants called hedgehog. So you got to kind of dig into it to find out which one he is. He's got these beautiful flowers, and see, he's got very spiny fruit right there. See that? It'll be real spiny. So if you want to eat it, you got to get all the spines off. Hey, we got another marker here. All right. This is a buckhorn cholla, Opuntia acanthocarpa. I also call him a staghorn cholla, but you call him a buckhorn. And he's this guy right here. So early spring for our Native Americans was a painful time because there's no food. It's called the painful moon. And during the season, they always turned to cacti for food. And they pit roasted thousands of calcium-rich cholla cacti flower buds, which is right here. He's called acanthocarpa because acantho means thorn, right? Or blade, something like that. And carpa means fruit, so acanthocarpa is a thorny fruit. You turn to this guy for calcium. Really in desperate times though. It's our buckhorn cholla. Hey, we got another marker. Uh-oh. It's gone. So, this marker's probably going to talk about Palo Verde here. Right? It means green stick in Spanish. He's got these green stems, have chlorophyll in them so when the leaves fall off. He still does photosynthesis. We already talked about him anyway, so I won't get too long-winded, but we got him all over the place, Palo Verdes. But the cool thing on this guy, the best thing, little seed pods. These are older, but I'll show you. You open them up, get little peas in there. Oh shoot, I can't open them up here. There we go, that little pea right there. You eat them. He's really good. Tastes just like a pea. So that's the cool thing about this guy, if you're really, really hungry. Hey, we got another marker. Is it for the ironwood or the creosote? Let's see. Oh, life after death. Cactus skeletons. Many desert plants continue to survive useful purposes even when dead. Wow. Imagine that. So a lot of the parts of the plants, of course, they'd either decay or little animals pick up the parts and make nests out of them, little homes. So when you find dead stuff out here, just leave it alone because somebody's going to use it. Wow, check out this whole ocean, hillside of teddy bear chollas. Look at that. That's amazing, all over the place. Like they don't grow a lot of places. But you just come up here and then, boom! You get like thousands of them on this hill. Look at the way they glow in the sunset. Hey, we found a little sunset view bench right here, overlooking to the west. And here's a sunset over the Ajo Mountain. Look at that, just in time. Just beautiful. Little shadows and the glowing off our cacti. Look at this whole valley. Unbelievable.
See the beetle in there.
Check this out. We have a little beetle who's stuck. That's a pinnacate beetle. He's like a little type of stink bug. Anyway, he's stuck in our teddy bear cholla. Well, say goodbye to our sunset. See ya. Because we have another marker up here. I'm going to show you. Oh, look at those guys. Okay, here's our other marker. This one is called the little one, Fishhook Pincushion Cactus, Mammillaria Grammii. Here he is. Here he's got little fish hooks on his spines there. There's thorns. See, look real closely. Yeah, it's really hard to tell. Those little spines are shaped like fish hooks. Got another one here. See that? They don't get very tall. He's a Mammillaria. Hey, we have another viewing bench. I guess you need to sit here. Take a look at this beautiful valley. Wow. All the way down there. There's Mexico, way out there on the other side of the big border fence. I'll zoom in, I'll show you the border fence. Way over there. See that? Top of the hill? Way up there. That's the MAGA border fence wall. All right there. Halfway down the back side, we have another marker. Let's see what she has to say for us here. A universal remedy. Creosote bush. Laria divaricata. Subspecies. Tridentata. Right here. His leaves, you boil them, make a tea. Treats colds, tuberculosis, venereal disease, and intestinal disorders. Wow. You could soak your feet over a little fire with these guys, and it helps relieve the pain in your feet after a long day hike or hunt. All right, it's a little Laria tridentata growing up here. It's the most common plant of the Sonoran Mojave deserts. Here we have another marker. What's she gonna say?
It says I'm right.
Oh, it says he's right.
It says I'm right.
That's what it says. says holly bush, or brittle bush, and Celia farinosa. Right here. You see them all over Anza-Borrego. These are brittle bush because he gets so brittle here. See? It's all brittle like that. This is last year's growth, so you just kind of break them off. You find them all over the desert super blooms down in Anza-Borrego, out in Mojave and Sonoran. See that? The resin was used to affix an arrowhead to the shaft, used as a glue to mend broken pottery. The cowboys, you'd use this like a little toothbrush. You can break off a branch here, like that, get a nice juicy part, like that, and you kind of chew on it, and it kind of works like a toothbrush, cleans your teeth. How about that? Brittle bush and Celia farinosa. He looks a lot like a little ambrosia, right? We have up here too, but he's not. He's a brittle bush. Here we have another marker. This is our prickly pear, Opuntia phaeacantha. Right here. He's a prickly pear, like our coastal prickly pears, or our Engelmann's prickly pear. But this guy, phaeacantha, means brown thorns. He's got brown thorns here. He's also called a desert prickly pear. You find him out in Anza-Borrego too. He's got a lot more thorns on top. You get down lower, they kind of fade away. He's got this long central spine. He's either white or purplish, or a little bit of both. This real long one, he's got tinier spines at the base of the areole, and super tiny spines called glochids at the very bottom. Okay, and this pad here, it's called a nopale, and you can take off the little spines, cut them up and fry them like a little zucchini for dinner. You also eat the flowers of this little prickly pear. Hey, this one here, another marker, says desert mistletoe, Phordendron californicum. I don't see any desert mistletoe here, but behind us, we do have some. How about that? Desert mistletoe likes to infect our plants. He's a parasite. He's digging into little ironwood here. See that? This little parasite plant. He sends his little roots in there and just sucks all the juices out of our little host here. Hey, we have another marker before it gets dark. I'm gonna misspell this ironwood here. Let's see. The heavyweight desert ironwood, Volnea tesoda. Wow. So in late summer, the Native Americans, they parched the ripe beans and then whole or ground them into a coarse, real meal called pinole. And this wood is so dense that it'll actually sink in water. Look at that, he's got little thorns on him right there. This is a small one, sometimes they get a lot bigger. It gets real scraggly down below. His older branches and trunks are all dark and brown like that. And his newer ones get the softer gray color all the way to the ends here. Right there, he's got these leaves, right? And the leaves are actually little leaflets, bipinnate, and they pan out and spread out to even more tinier leaflets. So we've got like leaflets on leaflets. Super tiny. This is from a Saguaro. You see his ribs here coming up? Look at that. His ribs all come up, and then he has spines on the ribs, and a big gap and spines, and then this is the structure. And out here, you'll see a couple inches will just be a bunch of fibery, fleshy meat that absorbs all the water. And like 70% of this little plant here, a cactus, will be full water. They go way up to 2 tons, like 4,500 pounds almost. Wow, this guy had a bad day. Look at that, maybe he was hit by lightning or somehow just died on his own. And here I have a marker here. This is a Saguaro. Carnegie gigantea. How about that? I just told you the whole story, but he's not here anymore. All right. Find some more cool stuff. Wow, look at this saguaro. This guy's got to be 60 feet tall. Look at that, all the way up. And he's never armed out. It's called a spear. Never had arms, so what happens if they don't get enough water and they're not super healthy, they don't tend to have as many arms as the other ones. And the arms just give them an advantage for flowering because they always flower at the top, and then you have more arms. You get more flowers. This guy's doing fine though. I bet he is almost 200 years old. He's huge. Here we have another marker. Let's see what it says here. All right, so our marker here, the desert cures. Unlocking the secrets of the desert was a slow, laborious process of trial and error for the early inhabitants. I bet. I mean, how do you know this Laria tridentata creosote bush, make it into a tea, and it basically will cure any ailment that penicillin cures today? You just don't know that overnight. You gotta get sick and try it, get sick and try it, and lots of trial and error with these guys. All right, so that's the end of our trail. Up here, you have a little restroom. You need to use that. And we exit on the back half of the whole loop. Desert View Trail. So we entered over here on this side, walked all around this way, came back on this side. That's our 1.5 mile loop. All right, so hope you liked that video. It was pretty fun. Time for dinner. Have a great day. Bye.